Don't open that door. The scream echoed through the marble hallway. A young black woman, her white maid's uniform stained with blood, stood frozen in front of an enormous mahogany door. Behind her, footsteps. Heavy. Calm. Getting closer. The mansion's security guards lay unconscious across the polished floor. An alarm blared through the house. She tightened her grip around the small silver flash drive hidden beneath her sleeve. One more step. The door slowly opened. Standing there was the most feared billionaire in South Korea. Kang Tae-hyun. Tall. Impeccably dressed in a black suit. His expression unreadable. His dark eyes met hers. Neither of them spoke. He looked down at the blood on her hands. Then, he quietly asked, "Who did you kill?" The young woman burst into tears. "I came here to destroy you." Her voice cracked. "But now I don't know if you're the monster or the only man who can save me." Rain hammered against the windows of a cramped apartment overlooking downtown Atlanta. Elena Carter hadn't slept in 36 hours. Coffee cups covered the table. Her laptop displayed hundreds of documents. Photographs. Bank transfers. Shipping manifests. Encrypted emails. Every file pointed to one name. Khan Group. One of Asia's most powerful conglomerates. Publicly, they built hospitals, hotels, and technology companies. Unofficially, her father believed they financed organized crime. Her father had spent 3 years investigating them. Then, he disappeared. No body. No goodbye. Only a final voicemail. His voice was calm. Too calm. "Elena, if you're hearing this, don't come looking for me. Some truths are buried because digging them up destroys everyone nearby. Promise me you'll live your life." She replayed the message every night. She never kept the promise. 3 sharp knocks echoed through the apartment. She froze. Nobody knew where she lived. A courier stood outside. No signature required. He handed her a plain brown envelope. Inside, a single photograph. Her father. Alive. Standing beside a sleek black car. Behind him, a glass skyscraper lit against the Seoul skyline. On the back of the photograph, someone had written in neat handwriting, "If you want the truth, come to Seoul." No signature. No explanation. Only a plane ticket. The city shimmered beneath a sea of neon lights. Seoul felt alive in a way Atlanta never had. Towering skyscrapers stood beside centuries-old palaces. Luxury cars glided through streets lined with glowing cafes. But beneath the beauty, Elena sensed something darker. Everyone seemed to be hiding something. At immigration, an officer studied her passport for a long moment. Then stamped it. "Welcome to Korea." As she stepped into the arrivals hall, she noticed a man in a tailored gray suit watching her from across the terminal. When she looked again, he was gone. Someone already knew she had arrived. 3 days later, a discreet employment agency in Gangnam. The receptionist slid a file across the desk. Private residence. No interviews. Excellent salary. Live-in position. Elena glanced at the address. Her heart stopped. Kang Mansion. She forced herself to stay calm. What kind of residence? The woman smiled politely. Our client values discretion. Nothing more. No names. No details. Just one contract. She signed it. If Kang Tae-hyun truly held the answers about her father, there was no better way to get close than from inside his own home. She thought she was walking into the lion's den. She had no idea the lion was being hunted too. The gates rose silently. The mansion stretched across landscaped gardens and reflecting pools, its modern architecture blending glass, stone, and traditional Korean design. Everything was immaculate. Too immaculate. A stern housekeeper greeted her. "I'm Mrs. Han. Rules are simple. No phones during work. No entering the West Wing. No speaking to Mr. Kong unless spoken to. No questions." Elena nodded. Understood. Mrs. Han studied her for a moment. People come here expecting luxury. They leave understanding loneliness. Before Elena could ask what she meant, Mrs. Han turned and walked away. Loneliness? For a billionaire? That wasn't the monster Elena had imagined. Late that evening, Elena carried fresh towels toward the upper floor. She rounded a corner. Someone else turned it at the same moment. The towels slipped from her hands. She looked up. A man in a charcoal suit bent down and picked up the top towel before she could. He handed it back without a word. His expression was calm. Tired. Almost kind. "Thank you," Elena said. He gave a slight nod and continued walking. Only after he disappeared did another maid rush toward her, eyes wide with panic. "Do you know who that was?" Elena shook her head. The maid whispered. "That was Mr. Kong." Elena's breath caught. That was Kong Tae-hyun? There had been no bodyguards. No arrogance. No threats. Just a quiet man carrying the weight of something invisible. For the first time since arriving in Seoul, doubt crept into her heart. Had she been chasing the wrong monster? Later that night, Elena unpacked her small suitcase. Tucked inside the lining was the photograph of her father. As she turned it over again, she noticed something she had somehow missed. In the background, reflected in the glass behind him, a man was watching. The reflection was faint, but unmistakable. It was the same man she had just met in the hallway. Kong Tae-hyun. Yet the timestamp printed on the photo revealed it had been taken 6 months before her father disappeared. How could Tae-hyun have been there? And if he knew Elena's father then, why had he never come forward? If you enjoyed this first chapter, subscribe to continue Elena's journey into the shadows of Seoul. In episode 1, part 2, Elena discovers a hidden room, overhears a conversation that changes everything, and realizes someone inside the mansion already knows her true identity. The reflection in the photograph refused to leave Elena's mind. She carried it back to her small room beneath the servants' quarters and placed it under the desk lamp. Her fingers traced the faded timestamp again. 6 months before her father's disappearance. The man in the glass looked unmistakably like Kong Tae-hyun. If that was true, then one of two things had to be true. Either Tae-hyun had lied to the world, or someone wanted Elena to believe he had. Neither possibility let her sleep. The mansion awoke before sunrise. By 5:30, the kitchens hummed with activity. Fresh rice steamed in copper pots. Soup simmered quietly. Staff members moved with practiced precision, speaking only in whispers. Mrs. Han appeared behind Elena without warning. "Today you'll assist upstairs. I thought new staff weren't allowed on the upper floor." Normally, Mrs. Han adjusted Elena's apron. But Mr. Khan requested another pair of hands. Elena looked up. "He requested me?" Mrs. Han's expression gave nothing away. "I didn't say that." She turned. "Don't keep him waiting." The west corridor felt different from the rest of the house. It wasn't grand. It was quiet. Almost untouched. Family photographs lined one wall. Not magazine-perfect portraits. Real moments. A boy laughing beside a woman wearing a straw hat. A teenage Tae-hyun standing awkwardly beside an elderly gardener. A birthday cake with far too many candles. Elena slowed. This wasn't the image of a ruthless billionaire. Someone had carefully hidden this side of him from the public. "You're staring." The deep voice came from behind her. Elena spun around. Taehyun stood several feet away, holding a mug of black coffee. The photographs. He looked toward them. Most people pretend they haven't noticed. They're beautiful. The words escaped before she could stop them. His eyes softened almost imperceptibly. My mother liked taking photographs. He said nothing more. Neither did Elena. Silence settled between them, not uncomfortable, simply unexpected. Finally, he nodded once. The library needs organizing. I'll show you. The library occupied an entire wing of the mansion. Floor-to-ceiling bookshelves stretched beneath skylights. Leather chairs faced a stone fireplace. There wasn't a television in sight. Elena blinked. You actually read all these? I've tried. There was the faintest hint of humor in his voice. It vanished almost immediately. He walked to a shelf and removed a heavy history book. As he did, Elena heard it. A soft mechanical click. She glanced toward the wall. For a fraction of a second, one bookshelf shifted before returning to its place. A hidden door. Taehyun noticed where she was looking. You imagined it. I didn't say anything. You were about to. He placed the book back. I'd appreciate your discretion. Then he walked away. Curiosity outweighed caution. Hours later, after finishing her work, Elena returned. The library was empty. She repeated what she'd seen. History book. Second shelf. Turn. Click. The bookshelf slid open just enough to reveal darkness beyond. Her pulse raced. She stepped inside. The hidden room wasn't a vault filled with money or weapons. It was an office. Simple. Private. On the desk sat stacks of files. Maps. Photographs. Names connected by red strings across a large investigation board. At the center. A familiar face. Her father. Elena stopped breathing. Pinned beneath his photograph were handwritten notes in Korean and English. One line had been translated. Protect him until phase 4 is complete. Protect? Not eliminate. Protect. What are you doing? The voice behind her was calm. Too calm. Elena turned slowly. Taehyun stood in the doorway. He wasn't angry. He looked disappointed. I told you the library was all you needed. She couldn't answer. Instead, she pointed at her father's photograph. Who is he to you? Taehyun looked at the board. For several seconds he said nothing. Finally. He was a good man. You knew him. Yes. You lied. I never said I didn't. Then tell me where he is. Silence. Tell me. Her voice echoed through the hidden room. For the first time, emotion crossed Taehyun's face. Not fear. Regret. I can't. You won't. They're different. Not to me. She stepped closer. My father disappeared. I know. My family was destroyed. I know. I came halfway across the world because of you. His jaw tightened. I know. Then why won't you tell me the truth? He looked directly into her eyes. Because if I do, you won't survive the week. The room fell silent. Those weren't the words of a man protecting himself. They sounded like the warning of someone trying to protect her. A phone vibrated in his pocket. He glanced at the screen. His expression hardened instantly. The chairman is coming. He looked back at Elena. You were never here. Before she could ask who the chairman was, voices echoed from the hallway. Heavy footsteps. Confident. Commanding. Taehyun moved quickly. behind the shelves. She hesitated. Now. She slipped behind a tall bookcase just as the hidden door closed. From the narrow gap between the books, she could see only part of the room. The door opened again. An older man entered. Elegant suit. Silver hair. Sharp eyes. Chairman Kong. So, the older man said quietly. Have you found the journalist's daughter yet? Elena's heart nearly stopped. He knew. He knew exactly who she was. Taehyun answered without hesitation. No. Chairman Kong studied him for a long moment. If she reaches this house, kill her before she learns the truth. A long silence followed. Then Taehyun replied in an even voice. Understood. Hidden behind the shelves, Elena felt her world collapse. The man who had shown kindness, the man who had spoken of protecting her father, had just agreed to kill her. She pressed a trembling hand over her mouth to stop herself from making a sound. Outside, rain began to fall over Seoul once again. And somewhere inside Kong Mansion, a clock struck midnight. The sound echoed through the silent halls like a countdown to something neither Elena nor Taehyun could stop. If you enjoyed this episode 1, subscribe to continue Elena's journey into the shadows of Seoul. Episode 2, The Secret Hidden in the Library. In 2 days.